I just recorded a whole video, and in the midst of it I realized my intention wasn't set properly. So now I'm recording a new video. This video is inspired due to the fact that I just came back from entering into the world for the first time in a while, and I saw quite a few things in that process. One, I saw that I, and like many of you, are a product of this world. Probably like, what does that mean? I'm a product of this world because I've lived in it for so long. I'm so attached to it. Before I went out, I had this urgency and this need to dress myself and take care of my outer appearance so that I would fit in, so that I wouldn't feel judged. It's like something came over me and I was intoxicated and drunk with the need to impress, to blend in, and it really hurt my heart to see that I was in that headspace. But as I went out, I felt so disconnected again, and it's like no one's eyes. I would look into people's eyes, and it seemed almost empty. Like people were just go, 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 and they just can't even stop for a minute to just breathe and to experience what's around them. And I am not judging, because I found myself to do the same as I was in it. And I have compassion because I know that that external world is just a reflection of me. And I'm making this video about, well, how do you heal that? I've been reading the Nag Hammadi scriptures, and specifically the book of Thomas. And it talks about Jesus' teachings, and some of his apostles wrote it down, but it's a book that's been to Gnostic text. So a book that has been dissected from the Bible, New and Old Testament. But it's really simple right here. Jesus says, "If you do not fast from the world, you will not find the kingdom." If you do not fast from the world, you will not find the kingdom. And the kingdom is all around. It's within, it's without. But how do we see the without part? How do we see the external part in all things? For me, I'm starting to see that it is vital for me to fast from the world before I step into the world and see the godliness in it. How can I see God in my neighbor if I can't see it in myself? Many of you may debate on what should come first, whether it be coming to peace. Sorry, I'm really sick. Coming to peace with the external and finding love in that first, or doing it in solitude first. And for me, it all seems to be that I need to do it in solitude before I step into the world and truly see it for what it is. How do we heal ourselves, though? How do we heal ourselves? It's enough to say to be in solitude and to retreat from the world. But I think spiritual practice is extremely important in that. Because yes, I'm locking myself in a house, and I know many people who do that, and it's not healing. And the solitude doesn't point them to themselves. But you have to make an effort. You have to sit down and read each day. You have to fast, truly fast from the world, from your bodily senses. You have to call out to spirit, to universe, to pray. You have to make a daily regimen of spiritual practice. Because without that, you're just sitting and idling. You have to set an intention and constantly check in with yourself and ask yourself, what am I aiming for? For me right now, I'm aiming for self-realization. Who am I? Because with that, I know that I will find peace once I truly discover and confirm who it is that I am. I will find my purpose once I know who it is I truly, truly am. Another thing I want to talk about is geared towards a video I just uploaded. And many of you, I'm not sure if people watch the full video because a lot of the comments kind of seem to point to the fact that they haven't, but in that video I discussed how I have been before I took mushrooms. I was extremely suicidal, and even before I've ever done psychedelics, I was extremely suicidal. And I want to say that the external isn't as powerful as we think it to be. And if you guys really watch my videos, you would know it's not just because of my serotonin levels because I'm depressed. That's not it. I was depressed far, far before I ever did psychedelics years ago. And what I'm trying to say with this is I'm finding mushrooms finally taught me, which they did before, but I really understand, that spirit, the power of the mind and the heart, are far more healing than any herb, any substance, any medicine. Yes, those things lead you home. Think about Ram Dass. Look how beautiful his path was because LSD led him closer to his path. But once he found out, once his guru found or taught him that the path is through the heart, it's through love, it's through service, it's through devotion, bhakti yoga, devotion. Ram Dass no longer talked about doing psychedelics much more after that because they led him. They lead you to the door, but they don't let you stay in heaven, eternity, forever. You meet with God for 10 hours on a trip, but then you're forced to leave. So isn't the real practice learning your spiritual, your own self-realization forms through yogas, through prayer? Isn't that the real medicine? This doesn't mean, I'm sorry, I'm water fasting, I'm really dehydrated, so pause. This doesn't mean that I'm completely done with psychedelics because I'm still very attached to the world and the externals. But I just want to tell you, through all of the remedies I've tried to do with healing myself, I went to the doctor about 5 times in the last few weeks to try to heal myself because I knew I was depressed, and I was like, there must be a chemical imbalance, there must be a hormonal imbalance of some sort. There's something neurologically wrong with me. I never considered the fact that maybe it was a disconnection from source. Maybe it was a disconnection from myself. I have a drawer full of medicine, of obviously natural medicine, herbs, tinctures, let alone my diet. I did the raw vegan thing for 6 months. I've been vegan for 5 years and I'm still depressed. And I was still depressed as a raw vegan. All of these external things, they help you. But ultimately, it all comes down to your connection to your higher self. Your connection to the divine. And this might be kind of a strange thing to hear for a lot of you, for me to say, oh, the psychedelics, the herbs, the tinctures, the gift from Mother Earth doesn't heal. I'm not saying that. It heals you to an extent, but it doesn't bring you all the way. It doesn't bring you all the way home. And for years I've been trying to figure out what I need to do. If I need to go do ayahuasca, take medicine. If I need to become a holistic doctor so I can heal people. Who knows what it is. Anything in the external world. I was so focused on that. But I can truly see now. There's one element that's missing. There's a fifth element, people. That is ether, spirit. How can we heal if we don't unite all of the elements and join in the fifth, in the spiritual aspect? The power of the mind, of thought, is miraculous. I know I keep talking about Jesus, but as of right now, His Spirit is very much with me, and so I feel that I will continue to discuss Him until I feel like I don't need to anymore. But do you really think Jesus went around doing His miracles, claiming that the external medicines, I'm sure there were medicines all around, the external medicines would heal people from the dead right away? No, what He did in those circumstances was the power of heart and thought in connection to His higher self to heal and to give and emit His life force, His Christ consciousness to someone who was dying. So back to my other video, for those of you who obviously did not watch the whole thing, I just want to share again that no thing can cause me to feel either higher or lower without my ability and my will to choose that. I hope that makes sense to you. It seems very complicated coming out of my mouth, but what I'm saying is, what am I saying? I have no idea what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to tell you that spiritual practice that doesn't involve that from the outside world is the most healing thing you can do. It is like another level, because you realize you become your own medicine. Your body has the ability to heal itself through the mind and the heart and the ability to pray through manifestation. God created our bodies to rejuvenate and recycle and to... We're created to be immortal. No substance is going to create immortality. do I think meditating every single day versus being in the jungle and taking ayahuasca every single day is better than another? That's a hard question, because I know it all leads you home, but I know one prepares your mind in a very wholesome and simple way. But I can say I actually don't think one is better than the other. I think they're both absolutely useless if you don't include your fifth element. If you focus solely on the external, the body, all of it's meaningless. Your meditation is meaningless. Your herbal remedies are meaningless. Without the power of your faith, your mind, your heart, I don't think that we can truly ascend and heal to the beings that we are meant to be. There is a power far beyond our comprehension. And I don't think it's revealed as simply as, oh, take this and you're healed. Oh, go to this shaman and you're healed. I think the only thing that will heal us is coming to our own intuition and asking our soul and spirit what we need individually. And for me right now, what I'm not going to say my last name because what I, Silken, need is fasting from all that binds me. That's where I'm at right now. Fasting from the external world. Fasting from my senses, my desires. And I know that there's truth and being indulged in the world, being indulged in desire. I know there's truth in that. But I am on a process, and in order for me to indulge in love unconditionally, the external world, I know that I must completely purify myself to the best of my ability. To find my path, I must completely let go of who I thought I was, because if I'm living in who I think I am and who I thought I was back yesterday or a few moments ago, I will not be aligned with what I need, because I'll be attached to what I used to need. And we have to see it constantly changes. Maybe tomorrow I'll say, oh, psychedelics, oh, the external world is the only way I will ascend. And that will be my truth tomorrow. But as of right now, I know that purifying and cleansing myself from the external will bring me closer to home. And yesterday I read something Paramahansa Yogananda said, and then today I saw again Jesus said, and Jesus and Paramahansa Yogananda are definitely good friends, I can say that. But he says, just like Paramahansa said, let one who seeks not stop seeking until one finds. I will not stop seeking until I find. I will not stop fasting until my question is answered. Also, I just want to read this because it's like, it popped up and it looks like, oh, so stuffy. It looks like, it feels like you guys would enjoy it. When you know yourself, then you will be known, and when you will understand that you are children of the living Father. But if you do not know yourself, then you will dwell in poverty, and you are poverty, you become poverty. And by poverty, I think it means deficiency. You will never be satisfied. So, we must know ourselves to know God. Know thyself to know God. To know God, know thyself. It goes both ways. This is a long video, so I'm going to close it at this. Thank you for watching, and I truly do appreciate your guys' presence. And although you guys are part of the external world, you are a good test for me to learn how to have compassion and to love, even when ignorance, I'm not saying all of you, but even when some show ignorance towards what I share, I still love you. I have compassion for you because I know I'm just the same as you. No one better than the other.